Salutations! Have you ever wanted to interrogate someone over a vegetable? Have you ever wanted to experience the joy of having your pets interrupt you nonstop while you work? Help Me Remember Satori-sama is a simulation on what it's like to quiz a child about an object they only have a vague recollection of. However, the child this time is Oku. The story is, we play as Satori and we're currently tired and in dire need of a nap, so we let Oku do the busy work for us while we rest, which becomes a bit of a problem. She has trouble remembering exactly what she was told, and we're too tired to use our mind-reading power fully. This is where the gameplay begins. We gotta ask Oku questions about an object in each chapter to try and decipher what she forgot. This plays a lot like a reverse Akinator, where instead we're the ones trying to ask the questions here. But instead of forcing a genie to learn some stupid shit, we're just trying to get this bird brain to remember what fruit it was. The questions are chosen randomly, and you keep notes on what she responds to on the left. The problem is, sometimes she won't even know the answer to my question, but luckily we have just enough brain juice to help her remember when we want to. Using the power of recollection though will cause a timer to start before we can use it again, so we can't just use it on every question we ask her. At any point, we can try to guess what we think it is. For the first chapter, it's a fruit that she forgot. Now here's the kicker, like old school text adventure games, we gotta type it out ourselves, which makes this a lot harder since the possibilities become very large with this. Luckily, this game has been patched to help me out, and by me, I mean Americans. Honestly, I struggled with the first chapters until I realized Oku is just bad at remembering anything. You see, any answer she gives may not even be the correct one. So now instead of just using my power when she can't think of anything to say, I save it for critical questions. Because knowing if the fruit is round or not is vitally important, so I always use my power here. Really, chapter 1 is not that bad. It's about learning what questions help paint the best picture, as some can be more revealing if you already know certain things. My first victory is when I knew it was red inside, round, big, and had many seeds inside, so I guess watermelon. The chapter where she forgets what animal she was told is when I learned how bird-brained she really is. Almost every time I ask her if it's a mammal, she will say no, but after I already knew that it walked on 4 legs, was large, and was kept as livestock, I got a bit suspicious. While questions like, is it part of the Chinese zodiac, she always seems to remember correctly. This is a good time to mention that if you fail several times, you'll get an answer list that you can look at to see what the possibilities were. I try to play through the game first before using it at all though, but for each chapter, there's quite a few possibilities she can be thinking of each time you try it. Because having to type in an answer has its drawbacks. For example, I knew she was talking about a 2-wheeled vehicle that was motorized and could go fast, so I tried guessing a motorbike. That turned out to be wrong, but I thought, well, maybe I should try typing in motorcycle, because I don't think a moped or scooter could be considered fast. And yeah, that was it was motorcycle. Time is always passing by, even when you're using our power or typing in the answer. Eventually, the time clock isn't enough of a distraction, so now we get Ren interrupting us. She'll knock on the door, and if we let her in, Oku will get distracted and forget about my latest question. So we have to knock back and say that we're busy, but not knock back too quickly, or she'll become worried and come back even faster. Koishi will also join on the final chapters, and her sole purpose is to try and jump scare us by being adorable. We have to swat her away before she makes any noise that will distract Oku. The chapter I found the funniest is when she's trying to remember what body part someone wanted from our corpse pile. Oh yeah, I'm sure Ren's just looking to trade corpse parts to someone. Now, I am not a nurse, a doctor, or even a maniac killer, but if someone were to come to me and ask for a body part from some corpse, I would have never thought of them taking blood vessels or veins. This one can be really hard if you don't ask the right questions. First, determine if it's internal or external, because the range of possibilities goes from something like the liver to a belly button. I'm not joking. This is the hardest one for me because I'm not even sure on some of these answers. For example, the answer I couldn't guess was liver, but she also told me it's an organ that doesn't regrow, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This game only has 6 chapters, but once you beat it, it unlocks hard and lunatic mode for each chapter. This makes the timer shorter, Ren and Koichi more annoying, so if you like pain, this mode is for you. But more importantly, it unlocks an X stage where instead of figuring out fruit, we're trying to guess who is that Touhou. This is actually a bit challenging because the list of Touhous is quite large, and I later learned it even includes Touhous from unconnected marketeers, something I'm not familiar with at all. This is also a fun way to realize how similar you can describe some of them. For example, I thought I was onto something when I learned that they were a playable character, had a boss they worked for, and had white hair. Oh, that's easy. That's, shit. Gonna need more information. Spoiler, it was actually Fudo. I wasn't even thinking of the fighting games when they said playable characters. Oh, and don't you worry, I lose some because I type in the wrong thing here too. I put in Hong when I should have typed Mailing. And just like the mammal situation, every time I asked if they are human, they say yes. But I make her recall it, and she's wrong about it almost every time. Mostly, I just keep asking hair color questions. But even this can sometimes not be helpful. Quick, how would you describe Letty's hair color? Is it white or is it pink? All in all, it's a pretty short game even when you go for the achievements. But the art is cute and it gives me newfound respect for what Satori has to deal with. As for me, I've been very busy IRL, so I had to take on a shorter fan game project this time. I hope to have something with a bit more to it next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Oku, what about the burgers? Tell me about the burgs.